Hi y'all, welcome to my next Truth Nugget. Last week I gave a Bible study and posted it on the internet about, is COVID-19 part of the end times? Is it prophesied in the Bible? And today's Truth Nugget is a shortened version, a much shortened version of that 45-minute lesson. So I'm going to give it to you in a nutshell. But first, I want to show you a very precious, valuable item that I have. Are you ready for this? Okay, I haven't shown anybody, but this is very valuable right now in today's culture. I don't know if the whole world is having issues with toilet paper, but this is what you need for the apocalypse, okay? This is what you need for infection control. I don't get the connection between washing your hands and, well, yeah, I guess I do, but anyway. And people are panicking in this pandemic because toilet paper is running out. And we've got to be ready for it because toilet paper is running out. Little did people know that, you can use a coffee filter instead. Don't ask me how I know that, okay? Just saying. But people want to be ready for this thing. And so they buy up toilet paper. Jesus told a parable in Matthew chapter 25 about being ready for his return. In fact, he told a couple of parables. The first one was about a bridegroom, and he was going to be coming through town in his procession, and part of the Jewish culture in the first century was that you would bring along some bridesmaids, virgins, and they through the night had to be ready for the bridegroom's coming by having enough oil for their lamps. They didn't have electricity. They had lamps with oil in them. Looked kind of like a gravy boat, and they had oil in it and a wick, and that's what they used. But you had to have enough oil in it, and so the point of that parable was that we are ready for the return of our bridegroom. Not all 10 virgins had enough oil, and the ones that didn't have enough oil, they asked the ones that did, and kind of like where we're at now. I'm out of toilet paper. Hey, can you spare a few sheets? Jesus told another parable of the talents in which a king went to a distant country and he left his managers, his stewards in charge. And he gave them different sums of money, 3 different ones, 3 different sums of money. The point of that parable, again, is that we need to be faithful with what God has given us until his return. In my lesson last weekend, I focused on the fact that Jesus is returning. And his return is sooner than it's ever been before in history. And there are certain things that we can look to see that indicate that his return is going to be very soon. In Matthew chapter 24, Jesus talks about certain events that are going to happen. They're not necessarily in succession. They're not necessarily going to happen in order. There are things that have been happening for the past couple thousands of years. But before Jesus returns, they're going to be more intense. They're going to happen more quickly and close to each other. And again, in Luke 24, 3 things that Jesus mentions are wars and rumors of wars, the sword, famine, and there's something else that I can't remember off the top of my head, okay? But these 3 things are going to happen in close order. In Luke chapter 21, it's the parallel to Matthew chapter 24. In Luke 21, Jesus talks about wars and rumors and wars, the famine, the sword, and pestilence. There's only 2 places really in the New Testament that talk about pestilence and the end times, and that is in Luke 21 and Revelation chapter 6. In Luke 21, it talks about, it's part of a number of other things that are going to happen. Is this global pandemic the last big pestilence, plague sort of thing? I don't know. I'm not saying that it is. I'm averse to Bible teachers and prophets that point to very specific things that we're going through and say, hey, look, there it is. That's exactly what the Bible's saying. But it very well could be. And if you put it as another piece of a puzzle to other things that are going to be going on in rapid succession, short period of times, wars, rumors of wars, pestilence, and earthquakes, We've seen a lot of earthquakes. Tie that to Revelation chapter 4. Revelation chapter 6. Revelation chapter 6, there's the opening of these seals, like a signet ring on a piece of wax over a scroll. And each time a seal is broken, there's more of the scroll that's revealed. And the fourth seal, after it's been broken, John describes a rider on a pale horse. His name is Death. And Hades was following close behind. I'm not quoting it exactly, okay, I'm paraphrasing it here a little bit. And some things happened that took out a quarter of the world's population, 25% of the world. The sword, sound familiar? Again, there was something else, I don't remember off the top of my head. You go look it up, Revelation chapter 6. And pestilence. And that was in reference to Jesus' return, his end-time return. And so there's the two references. Are we in the last days? I believe that we are. Pestilence is going to be a part of it. There's other things that are going to be a part of it. But the point is, 1, be ready. 2, be faithful. Be ready. Don't run out of this stuff. You can use other products, but when Jesus returns, we need to be ready, but we also need to be found faithful in doing what he wants us to do, telling other people the good news, how they can have a relationship with Jesus Christ, how they too can be ready for Jesus' return, and how we don't need to fear or be afraid as those who have no hope. We don't have to grieve or be in despair as those who have no hope, because we do. And so, wanted to give this truth nugget of a 40-minute longer, not so much of a nugget, more like a boulder. So don't look for these every day, but I hope this blessed you and challenged you in your relationship with Jesus. God bless you. You are loved with an everlasting love. We'll catch you next time.